I said, yeah. Yeah, with the yeah. Like, Boruto shit was heat. Like, honestly, this was honestly the best way to wrap up the arc. Stay savage, your boy, Bentro. What's poppin'? Today we are back with a Boruto review. You guys know it's motherfucking Wednesday, hump day. You better go hump some real quick. But nah, it's hump day. So you know we about to get into the Boruto review. Honestly, these Boruto episodes be coming out. We be out here tweaking like crack addicts or fucking heroin fiends. We be never like, well, I need the next episode. So you got it. I got 2 quarters, bro. Like, bro, we be out there like really like tweaking like deadass. I ain't gonna lie, I don't know how y'all be. I be like that with Boku no Hero too. But honestly, this was like the best way to wrap up the arc. You know, it was decent size length. So you know we gonna get into our review. If you guys have your own personal thoughts and own personal opinions, make sure you leave those in the comment section. You know what I'm saying? If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a thumbs up and let me know you're supporting it. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, you know, whatever. It's all at Bentro across all social medias. You know what I'm saying? So if you ever need to find me, at Bentro. Now with that being said, let's get into today's video. Let's get it.
Whipping all this dope up in the trap house. We fuck all you bitches at the trap house. I can't trust you, I can't give you real address. I can't trust you, I can't give you real address. It don't mean that be like Jerry Stacker. I might fall in love with my trap house.
Alright. So starting off this episode, you know what I'm saying, we got some dimensional travel. We saw this at the end of Naruto in a sense. We saw like different dimensions and shit like that. I mean, there was the one part where Naruto went to the Genjutsu world, but now, you know, it's more like apparent that dimensions are different things in the fucking Naruto universe, you know, because we seen Sasuke going into Kaguya's dimension, you know, like discovering like secret fucking scripts and shit like that. So that's something that is back up in this, you know what I'm saying. And even Kakashi talks about it at the same token, because he talks about how, you know, when you summoning different beasts and shit like that, you know, they still reside in that world at a certain point, you know, so you can still feel their presence. You don't like know where they at is, you know, it's just coming from different areas of the world, you know, like the mountains or some shit, you know, depending on wherever their domain is. So it's kind of like they, you know, on some teleportation, you know, like the flying rising technique. So it's like basically, you know, you summon them from a different area, you know, they're pulling up. But with the new A completely disappeared. When he disappeared, he completely vanished into a different dimension, and that was like one of those things where, you know, the whole presence completely vanished. And that was fucking dope to see. Naruto, you know, Naruto had his Sage Mode's eyes activated, and like he was just looking like at people and looking for the chakra as if their bitch was like a Byakugan or some shit. And I was just looking like, bro, this is like Naruto, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, obviously he can sense the different chakras around him due to Sage Mode being in tune with nature. Like, I know you guys gonna be like, well, Chino, it's in tune with nature, he can do that regardless. I mean, yeah, but like that was like one of the first times, like it probably did it before, I just don't remember, but it was like the first time in a long time, if they did, you know, they put it where you see chakra streams and shit like that. You see like different bodies and shit, like you can see like their flow and shit like that. That was different, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you don't get to see chakra points like the motherfucking Byakugan, but you see enough. And you know, there's something else that kind of coincides with that a little bit later on in the episode, so we're gonna get to that. But it was really dope to see, you know, Naruto looking for the presents, but you know, we got to see like some Byakugan and shit, like, you know, it was on some scanning the area, and like basically talks about how, you know, the new way was completely gone, the presence was gone, and if the users just call it summoning that bitch from a different dimension, then, you know, they can't really do anything to stop that shit, because, you know, it's one of those things where they would have to kill a beast. And, you know, we see Boruto going into this different dimension, and we see Mitsuki pull up as well, you know, and it's one of those things where I was honestly like surprised, you know, Boruto really put in some clean work. I know a lot of people like to like say, you know, he's not as strong as Naruto was at that age, but that's due to a lot of factors with that. I would just say what makes him like strong for his age and what makes him pick up where Naruto lacked, he's a lot smarter than Naruto. Like, if you honestly do not understand this at this point, something's wrong. Like, if you look at Boruto's fighting patterns, you look at the stuff he pays attention to, and it's all in like split-second ratios. It's not something he's sitting there calculating, something he's just sitting there strategically planning. It's just shit that he just do in the spur of the moment that's always strategic. Like, you know, this man literally coordinates all his shit. Like, back when he fought against Wabi, you know, we saw him using the fucking like the poles and like, you know, the stones, pillars and shit to summon different shadow clones to attack Wabi, just throw him off. And like, you know, we see him doing some strategic shit in a sense like that. In this episode, you know, basically when he was fighting against the New-A, he knew for a fact, like, fighting a New-A one-on-one, it was one of those things where he couldn't really do it because, you know, he tried in a sense. Like, you guys obviously saw he tried. He even got to stab him in the face with kunai and shit like that. So he basically ran up on him. He was like, look, I'm not afraid of you. I'm gonna fight you straight up. And then once he realized, you know, this is gonna be a lot harder because, you know, even though he's a lot smaller than he was in our world, in like the real world, not this dimension, whatever it's gonna be called. I don't know what the dimension would call it. I mean, could be like a negative dimension, a dimension of negativity or some shit. But basically, you know, it's one of those things where when you see him go back into like the studying and like the strategicness just in the spur of the moment, that's like, god damn. Because when he stabbed him with the kunai, he saw that shit wasn't working, you know, he got slung off. So basically, when he found out Mitsuki was there, Mitsuki was like a distraction, and my boy just started, you know, using his clones to set up little booby traps and shit like that. And basically, before this, you know, he saw with his motherfucking Star of Hope, with his Dojutsu, he saw a weak point, bro. Like, this Dojutsu is starting to show a lot more promise, because, you know, in the beginning I was like, oh, maybe it's gonna be seen for chakra, but it did. I showed him the weak spot on the motherfucking Nue. So you have a Dojutsu that allow you to see every person's weak spot. Like, dog, you can fuck so many people up without them even realizing it, and they don't even know, because a lot of people don't know anything about his eye. You know, this is one of those things where it's still a mystery to us. You know, they don't really know anything about it. And, you know, once he talks to his people about it, you know, they on some shit like, you know, it can't be the Byakugan, you know, you didn't go through extensive training. I mean, you could have had the Himawari effect, but, you know, it's not that, you know, because it didn't happen. It didn't come out during the fight. This man literally saw the weak point. Like, not no chakra point, he saw a fucking weakness. Like, that shit was so clean. I was just like, god damn, Boruto. Like, you coming out of, like, your shell with this one. Like, that was pretty clean. And, you know, the way he set up the trap in order to, you know, stab the fucking Nue in the weak spot, and basically use the paper bombs to blow up the, like, the ropes that was holding up in the air, and basically slap down on him and trap him. That shows how strategic he is. Like, a lot of people just gonna be like, oh, well, we seen Naruto do something like that in an instance, but that was more Naruto towards the end of Naruto. You know what I'm saying? Naruto would plan some shit. You know, he would have like the Sage mode, Shadow Clone sitting in the back holding that extra chakra, so when they come back after charging, he would have like extra chakra, that way he could use fucking his Rasen Shuriken and shit like that. But this is fucking Boruto in the academy, so just imagine how this man's gonna be when he's a teen. Just imagine his fighting style and the way he's gonna be once he completely gets his Rasengan, and you know how he has his shit in the manga and shit like that. This man is really about to be OP as fuck. Like, this probably is gonna be one of the most OP main characters we got in the series for a long time. I know Naruto's OP as fuck. I know everybody's like, Naruto, you know, Boruto's gotta work really hard to like pass him and succeed him and shit like that. But like, if you look at the way he's being set up, Boruto's being set up, and look at what he's doing already, this man is really on the path to some fireness. Now, throughout this episode, you know, we got to see a little bit of Talk No Jutsu, but before that, you know, we got to see Mitsuki and motherfucking Sumire throw down. Like, that shit was clean. I ain't gonna lie, you know, because at the time, Mitsuki could actually kill the motherfucking Nue due to Boruto setting up the trap. So that could have been the end of that, and, you know, they could have just talked to her on some cool shit. But she didn't want them to kill him. She was like, no, I need this tool for revenge and shit like that. And basically, you know, I did do some predictions when I made my Sumire versus Boruto video, you know, talking about like my predictions for the episode and shit like that. So, you know, I kind of predicted how Boruto was like, you know, don't follow your parents' path, follow your own path. You know, this is, you know, the same shit he was talking to fucking Mitsuki about, you know, your dad Orochimaru, blah blah blah. Well, he didn't say your dad Orochimaru, but your parent, you know, do your own thing. You don't have to follow what they want and shit like that. And that's one thing I already knew was coming. You know, this was something that we knew was coming at a speedy like moment. And the fact that of the matter, he did it a lot better than Naruto. Naruto usually takes a couple episodes to talk no jutsu to somebody. This nigga literally talked no jutsu the fuck out of Sumire in like 2 episodes. And I'm gonna say it wasn't even a full 2 episodes, because like in the first episode she was just like on some rampage shit. You know, she was just completely not listening to him. And then like in the second episode, you know, she was already like being convinced. You saw how like her heart got weakened and shit. But just to see her and Mitsuki fight, you know, Mitsuki bringing out the wind style, the lightning style, you know, she using her water style. That shit was clean, bro. Like, I was just sitting there like, god damn, like, these motherfucking kids are already like powerful as fuck. And I'm thinking to myself, like, just imagine how they're gonna be in the future. Like, just imagine once they get like stronger dojutsu. Nah, not stronger dojutsu, stronger ninjutsu. I made stronger dojutsu for Boruto. Like, if Boruto got stronger with his dojutsu, plus like him learning new ninjutsu and shit like that, there's gonna be some shit, dog. Cause like, we got to see his eye in the previous episode do some lightning release shit. I don't know what the fuck it was. It didn't even like, that shit didn't even like explain itself onto like, you know, this episode. It didn't even like give us a reason why that should happen, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we'll probably see it happen again maybe in the future, but I thought we was gonna see it again in this episode. We ain't see none of the lightning from the eye shit, so I was just like, where the fuck did that come from? Like, what the fuck is going on? And then, you know, after them two start like fighting and clashing, that shit was really dope just to see the acrobatics put into this. You always like to see a good fight in Naruto. You know, they always like, you know, do that shit really clean, and they put the taijutsu and the hand-to-hand combat on some extreme shit. But I think this one more so showing off the ninjutsu and the long rangeness, and, you know, trying to like basically pull out each artist's talents, because I know when Boruto was fighting against Awabi and he was basically trying to swing on Konohamaru, they was trying to show hand-to-hand combat in their art style, and I feel like in this episode it was more so focused on the long range and shit like that, trying to just complement the artists from different aspects. So I thought that was pretty clean. I thought that was pretty clean for the animation and shit like that. Now watching, you know, towards the end of the episode, you know, Boruto basically talking Dojutsu her down, and he got to ride the motherfucking new way. Like, I was like, whoa, like this man literally just pulled up and just started riding her shit. Like, you know, they used that bitch to escape. It was kind of cool to see how the new wave basically was, you know, like her child, and, you know, Boruto was like using that as an example not to follow your parents. You know, don't use him as a tool for revenge, because he looks to you as a parent or like a fucking sister or some shit. I don't know. It's kind of weird to have a beast look at you as their mother. I mean, she basically raised it, so because she was at the point where she was like, you know, take my chakra, kill me, blah blah blah, do what you gotta do. But the new way was like, no. So like basically when we seen her get sucked up before, the new way was just taking her away, just protecting her, because the new way never had any intention on self-destructing or absorbing the rest of her chakra, you know. So she was like, what the fuck, you know, why is not happening? And then Boruto basically tugged her and swayed her heart through the emotions. And I told you, like, the fucking chakra runs over people with rapid emotions. You know, if they can change their heart in a certain way, you know, they lose that effect, and that shit kind of goes away. So looking at this episode, Boruto is very promising. Looking at Boruto for the future is very promising. Another thing we got to see Boruto do with his eye, Star of Hope, basically when he was running towards the portal to escape the dimension, we got to see him basically see his friends. Like, he saw his friends in a different realm. So we've seen a couple of abilities, which I'm gonna make a video talking about the abilities of the Star of Hope. You know, there's a couple of abilities that this thing has allowed us to see. One has been lightning release, one has been allowing us to see weak points, one has been allowing us to see chakra abnormalities, and another one has allowed us to see through different dimensions. So like, he literally saw from that dimension to another dimension, which allowed him to find the portal in order to open up the dimension to their world. That way they could escape. That was pretty cool. That was really dope to see, you know what I'm saying? It basically showing along the lines that this eye was going to be very useful in the future. I mean, we still haven't saw it in the manga, except for aside from Kawaki versus Boruto, you know. I mean, I think we should have started in the manga a lot like sooner, in terms of like him growing up and his progression, because they're a lot ahead of, you know, the actual show. You know, they're like past the tuning exams and shit like that after the movie and shit. So like, we should have saw that eye at some point, or maybe he could use that eye fighting against Momoshiki, and that could have been the better reference to Momoshiki talking about how blue his eyes are. So hopefully we see some more things coming in the future. I do remember Tony popped up, said, you know, there's something going on, and we seen 2 stars. Maybe we'll get the Star of Destruction or the evil eye or the evil star or some shit like that in the future, but I know it's Star of Hope. And then there was 2 Star Stones, so hopefully we'll see a Star of Destruction in the future that could probably be Kawaki or some shit. So let's just see how that pans out. Let me know your personal thoughts and personal opinions in the comment section below. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, subscribe for daily content. Don't forget to follow me on all social medias, at Twitter, ShinoBenTrill, at Instagram, at ShinoBenTrill, etc, etc, etc. And, you know, with that being said, stay true and stay real. Hope you guys have a blessed day. Until next time, see you guys later. Bye, Z. Gang, gang. That episode was fire as fuck.